Believe it or not, it appears that this NCL situation, when it comes to their changes with the crew and their privileges, is starting to heat up just a little bit. Now, I'm going to try to make this video as brief as possible because, well, I'm getting ready to board my plane to Miami. I'm currently in Cancun. Today is cruise day. I will be jumping on, once again, the brand new Carnival celebration, and, well, it's going to be a blast. But before we get into the serious stuff, I recently stumbled upon a Pier Runner video, so I'll show you that and then we'll get into the interesting topic for today.
Closed and this cruise ship is ready to go. It's a Pier Runner, leaving them here on their own. It's a Pier Runner. Now we're gone. You're not the only one. It's a Pier Runner. Leaving them here on their own. It's a Pier Runner. Now we're gone.
Who doesn't love a good Pier Runner video? It's always over in Cozumel and Nassau that ends up getting people as far as them almost being left by the ship. But anyway, let's talk about what's going on with NCL. So recently, I told you guys a couple days ago that NCL has made a very weird and annoying and very frustrating, irritating change when it comes to their crew. As most of you know, I am a former employee or crew member for NCL, was a dancer on board doing a Broadway show. And, well, I always say that NCL is probably one of the strictest cruise lines out there when it comes to their crew. But even more recently, they decided to tighten down a little bit more and take away the privileges, the guest privileges in which the crew members can go to guest areas indefinitely for most of the crew members. Long story short, on board NCL ships, you have two different types of cards on board as far as your ID, which is also used similar to what would be your card that you use to open your room and charges and all that. When it comes to crew, there is the white card, the plain Jane as I call it, or the yellow card, which would typically allot some of the crew members to have guest privileges. This would allow them to be able to go to the guest bars, the guest nightclubs, and also have, let's say, an extra time outside when it comes to shore leave. Now, NCL has tightened up and told the crew that unless you have 2 stripes or equivalent, so the officers, you see they have little stripe things, if you don't have that or you don't have equivalent, meaning certain types of star power in which you can go to the guest areas, well, you can no longer do so without permission and you have to sign up. I guess they're gonna have some type of sheet or something stupid like that for the crew member in which they can go to these areas. NCL claims that all of this is in some strange attempt to give the guests the best experience possible. Now, when I made my previous video a few days ago, I read all of your comments and I did get the typical replies as far as how people felt. A lot of people were saying, well, NCL's a private company, they can do what they want. A lot of people were saying, well, those people are there to work, like I said people would in the video. Look, here's the thing. If you sign a contract stating you're going to be allotted certain privileges, and unless something crazy happens, those privileges will not be taken away, because I have made it clear they're not rights, right? It's not something that you get to have. It is a privilege. However, when it gets changed just for the simple fact that NCL wants to provide a better overall experience for the guests, you do gotta wonder what happened. Now, I personally do not know what happened yet. I've heard a couple different stories. However, I do know what is potentially about to happen down the road as far as the cause and effect. Meaning we have the privileges taken away and now a lot of the crew members are very angry about it. So as expected, we do have crew members that are talking about leaving NCL and going to work for another line. Believe it or not, some have reached out to me and asked me if I had a hookup with Virgin Voyages. No, I don't. So if you guys are watching this right now, I don't have those types of connections. Now, in addition to this, you have crew members with NCL talking about strikes, meaning they are going to rebel against these new rules. They want them gone and done away with because they do not think it's fair. And personally, you guys know my take on it. Call me biased. I'm a former crew member. I 100% agree. If you are working for a company, you are loyal for them, and you have been doing everything right, you stayed with them during the pandemic when you could have gone literally anywhere else, and then you get this where your privileges are taken away, that is absolutely not cool. Now, you're asking maybe how do I know this? Like I said, guys, I am a former crew member with NCL, and we do have select Facebook groups. We have WhatsApp groups that I've been a part of for years. So I hear all the stuff that goes on through the grapevine, all the stuff that's kind of on the down low. And well, this is the word on the street right now. If NCL does not change their game plan, their formula, meaning taking away guest privileges for most of the crew members on board, it is not going to be a pretty picture at all. By the way, in the event that somebody says this is a lie and this isn't happening, keep in mind that I do live in Tampa, and the NCL Entertainment headquarters, the creative studios, is in Tampa, and I have friends that are there right now rehearsing for the NCL Don, the Encore. Every single crew member, or entertainer rather, that is going to work on those ships go to Tampa. So it is, you can at least try to entertain the idea that I do speak to some of these people and catch up with them every now and then when they fly from Australia to Tampa or the UK to Tampa. I'm in constant contact with a lot of my friends that are in management, that are in wardrobe design, that are all forms of entertainment, stage tech, you name it. But they're talking about potentially not even going to start their contract. They're at the creative studios right now over in Tampa, and they're saying if they're seriously going to debate whether they were actually going to fulfill said contract or not. Anyway, my flight is almost fully boarded, and I got to go ahead and get out of here because I don't want to miss my cruise. I'm already breaking the rules by flying on the day of my cruise. I do it for some reason too much, more than I should. I got to stop doing that because it's going to catch up to me one day. I've already missed one flight with Frontier. Go figure. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. I appreciate all of you. I love all of you, and I'll see you later. Take it easy.